Hey guys, it's Sky here of Sky's the Limit Exotics. I've got Hylia with me, who is a tangerine Honduran milk snake, and today I wanted to talk to you about picking out your very first pet reptile. A lot goes into picking out your first pet reptile. The most important thing, though, is to look for something that's going to interest you. So a lot of people ask, what is a perfect beginner reptile? A perfect beginner reptile is the one that you're willing to research, whether that's, YouTube or Google or Facebook, all of the above, highly recommended, or hands-on experience. Whatever animal you're the most interested in is the one that you're going to do the best taking care of. Another thing to consider is what you're looking for in your pet reptile. Are you looking for an interactive species? Are you looking for something that's got a crazy feeding response? Something that you can build an awesome bioactive enclosure for? Something you can breed? Something that's easy to handle? Or something to use for educational purposes? All of these are fun, different things that you can do with your reptiles. And, it really changes based on the species that you pick. On top of how much research you're willing to do, another very important thing to consider is how much space do you have? A lot of species, especially beginner species, require something as big as a 4 by 2 by 2 foot enclosure. Some can be smaller. Something like a leopard gecko might be able to stay in a 40-gallon enclosure or even a 20-gallon enclosure, depending on how big they get, the individual that you are raising. Sorry about Luna. She wants attention right now, too. Um, so that is to say that space is very important when you're considering what kind of reptile to get. Another really important thing to consider is, do you have an exotics vet near you? Not every vet can see exotics, and not every exotics vet is created equal. Some vets will just kind of do more cat and dog stuff and not know as much about reptiles, which is fine. It's a lot to take in all the information about all of the animals, but it's very important that you find an exotics specific vet in case anything ever goes wrong. So now on to some of my recommendations. I personally have a soft spot for Honduran milk snakes, but most milk snakes are pretty good. But they do tend to musk from time to time, which is something a lot of colubrids do, but I notice it the most in milk snakes, personally. Corn snakes are a great option. We've got Felix the corn snake, but I'm not going to get him out today. They're, especially for living in North America, they're a pretty easy species to keep. But like Clint, if you watch Clint's Reptile Room, he pointed out that things like leopard geckos and bearded dragons and corn snakes, they really kind of whet your appetite for reptiles. So if you only want one snake, you don't want to get something that you're going to get and then get bored of. So maybe you're willing to put in a little bit more work and a little bit more space and invest in something like a super dwarf retic, like Sweet Pea that we have. She's about to poop, which is why she's not in this video. I don't want to get pooped on. That is something that you have to be mindful with reptiles, specifically snakes. They will poop on you, sometimes more often than they will bite you. And that's just something you have to learn to deal with. But you can see the warning signs. I'll put a picture up over here of what it looks like when a snake is about to poop. Well, it seems like Hylia is done with filming now. They're getting a little antsy, so I'm going to put them back in their enclosure. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you have any recommendations, leave them down in the comments for people of good starter reptiles that would be fun to learn with and grow with and everything else. I hope you have a fantastic day, and peace out.